Y'all remember when Diddy appeared on The Ellen Show and casually threatened her and Twitch with the tapes in front of an audience?
Yo, Ellen, we go so far back. You don't tell these people how far back we go.
I know, but I wear T-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right, let's...
I mean...
You roll that.
Okay.
All right.
I keep this. Take two if the joke didn't work.
No, it's okay.
It's like they got a thrill out of joking about it right in front of everyone, and people didn't get it. Well, the creepy relationship between Ellen DeGeneres and Diddy is under fresh scrutiny as new speculative questions arise surrounding the death of Twitch. And allegedly, based on what reports are saying, he possibly found out things he was never supposed to find about that particular relationship and a network of some pretty nasty stuff.
Yeah, I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's the... Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
Like 9:30.
Really? That early?
Yeah.
I could make that.
Yeah.
But I could think of you of starting a party at like midnight. Like, what time will it go till?
That's a different type of party, though.
So what exactly are we talking about here? And what does Twitch have to do with any of it? Okay, y'all remember when Ellen was caught up in that Wayfair drama about selling furniture at very high prices, where the cabinets were being sold at up to $10,000? And the names of the cabinets were associated with reported missing persons, such as Naraya, Yuritsa, Samaya, and Olivia? Well, the streets are saying that it wasn't just a rumor, and that this may actually be the link to Twitch's death. Stay with me. Allegedly, the cabinets were the ones being used for transportation of people and young adults by the likes of Ellen and Diddy for you-know-what. Like, people were honestly shocked that anyone would buy a hideously ugly old-school locker for up to $10,000. But it all made sense after that. The whole scandal about illegal transports via Wayfair came out, and Ellen was right in the middle of it. Actually, to a lot of people, it makes sense that Ellen was right in the middle of the Wayfair drama when the company was being accused of acting as a front for illegally transporting humans by selling pricey cabinets named after people. I remember there were even people who said that they were looking for stuff on Wayfair a few years ago, and they remembered seeing hideously ugly old-school lockers, but didn't pay attention to the name. However, they were stunned that anyone would pay $10,000 for such things, because the price was really outrageous. Then, not too long after that, the whole scandal about illegal transports via Wayfair came out. In fact, shortly after that, a woman came forward and said she worked at Wayfair at one time, and items at higher prices were only handled by certain people in higher positions at Wayfair. Now, right after Twitch passed on, there were reports making rounds that he was planning on exposing Ellen with regards to this scandal, and how Diddy was involved as well. And people even said that she allegedly orchestrated his death and made it look like he took his own life. But that's not even the worst part. Rumor has it that Ellen had been frustrating Twitch for a while and left him out to dry when she was accused of allowing an on-set culture of discrimination based on color, fear, and intimidation by several former employees. Do y'all remember that time? Well, she strongly denied the allegations and said didn't know about them.
As you may have heard, this summer there were allegations of a toxic work environment at our show. And then there was an investigation. I learned that things happened here that never should have happened. I take that very seriously, and I want to say I am so sorry to the people who were affected. I know that I'm in a position of privilege and power, and I realize that with that comes responsibility, and I take responsibility for what happens at my show. This is the Ellen DeGeneres Show. I am Ellen DeGeneres. My name is there. My name is there. My name is on underwear. We have had a lot of conversations over the last few weeks about the show, our workplace, and what we want for the future. We have made the necessary changes, and today we are starting a new chapter.
However, based on a report that was done by BuzzFeed, an employee who claimed she was fed up with comments about her essentially walked off the job. Others said they were also instructed by their direct managers not to speak to Ellen DeGeneres if they saw her around the studio. Most of the former employees actually blamed executive producers and other senior managers for the day-to-day toxicity. But one former employee said that ultimately, it's Ellen's name on the show, and she really needed to take more responsibility for the workplace environment. In addition, a black woman who used to work on the show told BuzzFeed News she experienced offensive comments, actions, and microaggressions microaggressions during her 1.5 years as an employee. She said when she was hired, a senior-level producer told her and another Black employee, "Oh wow, you both have box braids. I hope we don't get you confused." And at a work party, she said, one of the main writers told her, "I'm sorry, I only know the names of the white people who work here." Now, imagine how complicated it must have been for Twitch, a Black executive producer. Child, as if that is not devastating enough, one former employee said that after working on the Ellen DeGeneres show for nearly a year, they took medical leave for 1 month to check into a mental health facility for attempting to take their life. And the week they returned to work, they were told that they were fired. The former employee also said, and I quote, "Some of the producers talk openly in public about addiction and mental health awareness, but they're the reason there's a stigma. They definitely don't practice what they preach with the be kind mantra." You see, at the time, Twitch was also getting a lot of backlash for supporting Ellen, with some people even questioning whether he was part of the mistreatment, since he was also an exec at the show. That I cannot say for certain, but what I can tell you is that he was definitely under a lot of pressure. In fact, Todrick Hall, a friend of Twitch, shared that Twitch was under immense pressure because of the scandal on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
When he was on Ellen and Ellen was being canceled, people were looking at him saying, "Why are you supporting this woman?" And I think that is just a lot of pressure. Human beings are not designed to handle that much pressure. And when I was talking about my experience, his face was like, "I know." And he was just like, "It's a lot."
But guess what? Ellen didn't do much to help Twitch. And based on what I've heard, she even used that scandal to frustrate him. And that put a toll on him. And when he couldn't take it any longer, he ended it. Remember, it was already reported that Twitch left a note behind. And although investigators who found the note did not specify exactly what it said, the LAPD confirmed he cited past challenges he was still struggling with. Well, according to Todrick, those past challenges had a lot to do with the toxic work environment at Ellen's show. But here's where it gets even more interesting. It allegedly also had a lot to do with her relationship with Diddy, because it's somehow all related. I mean, anyone who watched The Ellen Show knows that over the years, Diddy was a regular on the show. And with the allegations behind his parties making rounds, fans were looking back at some of his older interviews with Ellen. And one of the old interviews that caught the attention of many was when Diddy was asking Ellen why she never attended his parties.
That's a different type of party, though. No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 2, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel. You know?
And then it will carry on there.
Yeah. Then no, I mean the after party.
One thing you should take away from the conversation was that Ellen was invited to all the parties, all of them. But the only reason she never went to the parties was because they were too far, not because she found them questionable. And when Diddy said that the parties that start after midnight are a different kind of party, Ellen knew exactly what he was talking about. Now, allegedly, their relationship goes even deeper than the parties. And I have seen claims suggesting that Ellen may have been involved in whatever Diddy was being charged with in court. And considering she was right in the middle of that Wayfair scandal, honey, it's not far-fetched. But all these are just allegations for now. However, you want to know who was being accused of helping take out Twitch? Yep, you probably guessed it, his ex-wife, Allison Holker. Allegedly. Y'all know that Allison had been slammed a few times for not just disrespecting Twitch and his family with the oversharing after Twitch died, but acting shady and knowing exactly what was up. In fact, one family member, Darielle, a cousin of Twitch, even spilled that Allison required the family to sign non-disclosure agreements to attend his funeral. And after saying that she doesn't care about the NDA, Darielle wrote, "This crazy woman made me and his actual family sign an NDA just to even attend the funeral. She's been trying to tarnish his legacy and refuses to let the Boss family see the children, only to exploit and to lie on my cousin. Hell no." Darielle also wrote that contrary to what Allison was trying to imply, Twitch wasn't an addict. He smoked and was actively trying to quit, but he wasn't some junkie. In addition, Twitch's brother Dre claimed that since his brother passed on, his side of the family had been denied access to the children. He actually took to Instagram to say that his mother and grandparents were trying to process Twitch's death, but that they had been disrespected and alienated from family affairs. Then, without explicitly naming their mother, Dre said his late brother's 3 children had had noticeably limited interactions with their grandmother and the wider family. According to what he said, the reason reason why Allison was not letting them see the children was because the family did not agree with some original terms of the NDA she presented the family to sign. Then there were other things, like when Allison noticed that Twitch was not home the day he took his life. Instead of calling the police, she went to them, like she already knew something bad had happened. In addition, there are interviews she did months later, which a lot of people found emotionless and said that she overshared. Actually, in one of the interviews she did, Allison said that she was with one of her really dear friends, and they were cleaning out the closet and picking out an outfit for Twitch for the funeral when she uncovered a cornucopia of substances, including mushrooms, pills, and other substances she had to look up on her phone, hidden inside Twitch's shoeboxes. Based on what she said, she believed she and Twitch had very honest communication, including about his use. In fact, she said that at night, after their kids went to bed, he would quietly slip into their guest house to smoke or drink. She said that was his alone time, and it was his time to recharge, and that was okay, but she never expected to find the things she found in his shoeboxes. She also said that in the days leading to his death, Twitch was acting withdrawn, showering less frequently, and smoking morning and night, and told her that he was going through a low period, but he was very careful about this wording. Allison also said that she combed through his journals, hoping to find clarity and closure after his death, and she learned her husband had hidden painful secrets from even those closest to him. In her words, he was wrestling with a lot inside himself, and he was trying to self-medicate and cope with all those feelings because he didn't want to put it on anyone because he loved everyone so much. He didn't want other people to take on his pain. She also said that Twitch alluded to being SA'd by a male figure during his childhood in several of his journal entries, and that may have affected him till the day he died. Basically, it's people saying that she had been acting really fishy since Twitch died, but whether or not she had a hand in his death or whether she collaborated with Diddy and Ellen, I don't know, but I sure would like to know what you think. Do you believe it's all connected? Let me know in the comments section below.